Dramatic shifts in political and economic changes in the Middle East have played an important role in setting the trends relating to Middle Eastern women managers. In a 2011 Journal of International Business and Economy report, Dr. Salima Kauser and Dr. Haifa Talais argue more foreign investment has created a need for skilled labour. As a result, a growing number of governments increasing women's access to educational opportunities and greater gender equality in employment. But the report goes on to say that these societal shifts have not necessarily led to a corresponding increase in Arab women's participation in the labour force. Women are still underrepresented at lower, middle and senior levels. We hear from Lilian Simerly, a finance executive, on the cultural barriers she faced rising to the top.
Can you give me some examples of some of those hurdles that you had to overcome and kind of the cultural, the wider Middle Eastern reaction?
For instance, in my last job, during the last 9 years, I was the only lady private banker and investment advisor in the Middle East unit. Being in London, being in Geneva, or being in Dubai. All the other Middle Eastern offices or Middle East department in other jurisdictions, they had no other woman but me. My manager was a man, and it is not easy, but it can be done. Sometimes I feel proud to be sitting when we have a general meeting. I'm really proud to be Middle Eastern woman coming from Lebanon and sitting, say, with the management and discussing the way forward or discussing the market opportunities. It makes me feel very proud.
Can you tell me about how they treated you as a sole female? Was it hard? Did they respect you?
Of course, yes, utmost respect from my both previous employers. They didn't treat me anything differently, like being a woman to being a man. So this helped, of course, as well. And it's up to the person, I think, at the end of the day. Either you you have to get the respect from them. It's up to you how you behave with people to get them to respect you back. And I'm friend with everyone. I'm friend with my colleagues. I'm friend with my managers. I'm friend with my clients. But of course, there is a line. And as long as this is in place, I think we are all good.
Consider this. According to recent statistics by the UN, countries in the Middle East and North Africa region, the ratio of young, literate females to males between 15 to 24 increased from roughly 80% in 1990 to almost 95% in 2011. But in terms of labour force participation, the numbers declined dramatically to the lowest levels in the developing world. In 2001, the percentage of age 15 plus working women sat at almost 20%. By 2011, the increase was by only a few percentage points. These general findings are in line with a 2013 World Bank report that examines young women's access to the labour market in the Middle East and North Africa region. A summary of the report states, job creation in MENA's private sector has been too limited to absorb the large and growing number of young job seekers. According to the report, women are further disadvantaged in an already limited job market.
At the management executive level, why do you think it is that women kind of fall off of the map?
Well, I think we need to change that. We need to work on more promoting women's role in the executive world, and we need to be more conscious of this lack of the ladies element in the executive level. So the more we promote it, the more we can help more and more Middle Eastern women, making it not only in their own country, but outside their country if they would like to expand outside their country. So hopefully I'm an example, but I would want to help, personally, I would want to help any Middle Eastern woman as much as I can to get her on the, to do the first step and to help her along the way. And if every one of us do it in turn. I think this will grow even more and more, but it is very essential. It's about time. It's about time that we raise our profile more. We raise our capability of what we can do in the outside world, not only in our own country, but we can shine indeed outside of our own world as well, outside of the country where we come from as well. Being Europe, being the States, being the Far East, wherever we choose to go, we can shine wherever we are.
Do you think Middle Eastern women face a unique set of cultural barriers versus South Asian women, for instance? Is there a difference?
I think in my job, it requires a lot of traveling, and I would need, of course, to travel, meet with clients, meet with management outside the UK as well from time to time. So you would have to maybe have a nice husband who would accommodate to this. So this is one of the hurdles, as we say, that a woman could face, a Middle Eastern woman. Maybe sometimes you have some husbands who wouldn't allow the woman as such. This is fair enough. Maybe she can grow into something else that wouldn't require necessarily traveling. I'm not saying traveling is the only way forward. One can achieve the potential no matter what you choose to be in life.
Some of the causes cited by the UN and other international observers is that regional cultural views tend to be highly patriarchal with clearly defined gender roles. These views then pigeonhole women, impacting their ability to climb the career ladder. The role of religion, Islam in particular, Dr. Salima Kauza and Dr. Haifa Talai cite academic research in their report that argues Islamic law grounds many Arab cultures. For instance, traditional religious teachings have been interpreted as saying that a woman's primary role in society is to reproduce.
Sometimes it is family, raising a family, and sometimes it is maybe moving country with the husband. So what I would say is no matter what, wherever women are located, whatever, if they want to raise a family or to start a family, there is nothing that would stop them from building themselves and achieving their potential to the maximum. Even with a young child. I remember when I started, as I said, my son was 2.5 years old at that time. Now he is 21 next month. So it is very important to have this right balance. And I started at the beginning as part-time job. And then when my son went to school, then I asked my manager if I can go to a full-time job. So I'm sure many employers also would accommodate for that. But we need to start. We need to be there in the market and to raise our profile. Being part-time, being full-time, it doesn't matter. We can do it whatever number of hours we can work on.
Tell me about how your family reacted, as you were growing your career in Cyprus. What did they think about you going, level by level up the corporate ladder?
Yes, of course, they were very proud of me. We were raised in Lebanon. I was raised in Lebanon during the war, and we learned that we don't take anything in the easy way. Nothing comes to us in the easy way. We have to go out and get it. So if we want to become someone, if we want to become something in life, we have to go out of our way and push hard and do whatever it takes, studying, being sitting exams, building a book, building a market to achieve what we want to do. So I think part of it maybe is the way we grew up in Lebanon because of the war. This, in a way, I use this to my advantage to make me who I am now, the person that I would want to go out and grab things and pursue things until the end, until I get there.
Was it hard for people to understand how a single mother would move and start a whole new life in a new country? How did people react to that?
Of course, I mean, many of my clients were very proud of me, on one hand. Sometimes I would sit in a, let's say, lobby of a hotel and meet with a client, and I would hear some comments like a lady traveling on her own. But that's why if one is focusing on something, one needs to focus and not be distracted with whatever comes along. We're not doing anything wrong. It's to the contrary, it's something very good that Middle Eastern women can do. So why not pursue it until the end? Of course I had challenges, of course I had hurdles on the way, but I learned a lot in my life and in my career, and I learned to overcome these hurdles as and when they come.
A differentiation in terms of investment in human capital has an impact, with men more likely to invest in further education and developing new skills. What can be done? Analysts argue for a top-down policy approach, creating a more diverse set of opportunities for women and men. The World Bank report calls for changes in policies to secure women's equality under the law, addressing skills deficits and mismatches, and actively promoting women's economic, civic and political participation.
If you could speak to Middle Eastern women across, whether in the UK or, living back in the region, what would you say to them in terms of career advice?
Any career advice would be really to keep going. No matter what happens, no matter what hurdles we have as women, and on top of that as Middle Eastern women, just to keep going and have an aim. What do you want to achieve in your life? Whatever they want to achieve, there is a way to achieve them. Patience and setting goals and being determined to arrive there, to become someone, to make it happen, and never give up. So many no's will take place, and the more no's you have, the more I think there is a yes behind it. Because this is life. I don't expect anything to be yes. I don't expect anything to be given to me on a golden plate. I've had so many no's before, but because I had so many no's, I became stronger, and I became the person who I am now as an executive director.
That's incredibly inspirational, I'm sure, to people at home. Do you see things changing? Do you see more women, Middle Eastern women, entering the finance field? Like, do you have hope? What do you feel
yes,
about?
I see more young female Middle Eastern women asking me to help them to join the bank and to help them grow in their own career, and I'm all for that. I understand the culture, the Middle Eastern culture. I understand how it is to be a woman. I understand the hurdles that we face. So I'm all for helping others to achieve the same and to get the ball rolling, really. And this is the cycle of life. At some stage in my career, I would want to retire, and I would really want to retire, hopefully, by knowing that so many other younger women are taking over and building themselves as well in the long term.